कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड श्री गिरिराज गोवर्धन की। ब्रज भूमि से वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा द्वारकापुरी धाम की, नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की। जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की। कलयुग पावन गोलोकेर प्रेमधन हरि नाम संकीर्तन की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Gaur Hari Bol.
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 8. यस्तत्त्वभेदैरधिलोकनाथो यस्तत्त्वभेदैरधिलोकनाथो लोकान् अलोकान् सह लोकपालान् लोकान् अलोकान् सह लोकपालान् अचिक्लिपद्यत्र हि सर्वसत्त्व अचिक्लिपद्यत्र हि सर्वसत्त्व निकाय भेदोधिकृत प्रतीत निकाय भेदोधिकृत प्रतीत यै सत्त्वभेदैरधिलोकनाथो लोकान् लोकान् सह लोकपालान् अचिक्लिपद्यत्र हि सर्वसत्त्व निकाय भेदोधिकृत प्रतीत यः सत्त्वभेदैरधिलोकनाथो लोकान् लोकान् सह लोकपालान् अचिक्लपद्यत्र हि सर्वसत्त्व निकाय भेदोऽधिकृता प्रतीत. Vaishnavis. Yah, by whom tattva, truth, bhede, by differentiation, Adilokanatha, the king of the kings, Lokan, planets, Alokan, planets of the lower region, Saha, along with Lokapalan, respective kings, Achiklipat, planned, Yatra, wherein he certainly, Sarva, all, Sattva, existence, Nikaya, living entities, Bheda, difference, Adhikritaha, occupied, Pratita, it so appears. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The Supreme King of all kings has created different planets and places of habitation where living entities are situated in terms of modes of nature and work. And he has created their different kings and rulers. Purport. Lord Krishna is the chief of all kings, and he has created different planets for all kinds of living entities. Even on this planet, there are different places of inhabitation by different types of men. There are places like deserts, islands, and valleys in mountainous countries. And in each of them, there are different kinds of men born of different modes of nature, according to their past deeds. There are people in the Arabian deserts and in the valleys of the Himalayan mountains. And in inhabitants of these two places, and the inhabitants of these two places differ from one another. Just as the inhabitants of the islands also differ from them. Similarly, there are also different planets. The planets below the earth, down to the Patala planet, are full of various kinds of living beings. No planet is vacant, as wrongly imagined by the modern so-called scientist. In Bhagavad Gita, we find it said by the Lord that the living entities are sarvagata, or present in every sphere of life. So there is no doubt that on other planets there are also inhabitants like us, sometimes with great intelligence and greater opulence. The living conditions for those of greater intelligence are more luxurious than on this earth. There are also planets where no sunlight reaches, and there are living entities who must live there due to their past deeds. All such planets of living conditions are made by the Supreme Lord, and Vidura requested Maitreya to describe this for the sake of further enlightenment. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Bracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yanta pravishamam vachimam prasuptam Sanjivayati Akhila Shaktidhara Swadhamna Anyam cha hastacharana shravanatvagadin Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Hare Krishna. So, welcome each one of you for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. I seek blessings of all the assembled devotees and those who are hearing online also, so that I can speak something for my own purification. So this discussion just now beginning between Vidura and Maitreya. In Srimad Bhagavatam, this is one of the biggest discussions. 2 cantos are dedicated for this discussion. So this discussion happened at Dwari Dunadya. So this chapter begins with Dwari Dunadya Rishabhak Kurunam Maitreya Masina Magada Bodham Kshattopasatya Achyuta Bhava Siddha Papracha Saushilya Gunabhitriptaha. So this discussion begins. Dwari Dunadya. Dunadya means celestial river. So the celestial river referring to the Ganges. And Dew means Dwari at the gate. So Ganga Dwar means Haridwar. So Haridwar, there is a place called as Brahmakunda or Harki Podi. Just now we had a Ayavas Yatra there. So this Harki Podi is called because the Lord appeared there to Brahma. His lotus feet is manifested there. Therefore his Harki Podi, Harika Pair actually, Pad. There is a Brahmakund. At that Brahmakund, this Maitreya, sage Maitreya was sitting. Maitreya Asinam. So he was sitting there, actually after hearing from the Lord Krishna in Vrindavan, he was thinking, let me go to some place where I will get the association of Krishna or the Lord. So he thought that this Brahmakund where the Lord's presence is always there and also the Ganges is there. The presence of Ganges and the Lord's presence will inspire me to broadcast this message which I have received from Krishna. So thinking like this, he went there. So the place do matter. Right now, we also go to the holy places and we can see the Harikatha, one of the best classes are the where we heard in the Yatras. Right? So the place do matter. So Maitreya Asinam, so that there Maitreya Rishi was sitting and he was not busy at all. He was not involved in any material activities. He was ready to impart this knowledge and he was waiting for someone, for the right candidate. He was not absorbed in material activities because he was absorbed in gunabhitripta and spiritual activities. The spiritual qualities, just like Saushilya, gentleness, compassion. So he was absorbed in the spiritual, developing spiritual qualities or the spiritual nature. So therefore, he was completely free from the material activities and thus appeared to be free, without busy, without anxiety. Right? So when he has a material desires, he has to run around. He has to run around. The people have this conception that if I get things, then I will become happy. They have this mentality to have more and more and more. So to have more and more, they have to work more and more. They have to earn more and more, and thus they are always busy. But in the chase of running behind the things and objects, they get attached to the doing itself. Therefore, after earning so much during the retirement times, they don't want to retire. They want to continue working. Because now they developed the understanding that I will be happy and I'm stable when I do things. I have to do something. I have to be always doing something. That activity itself, it seeks happiness from there. And then the higher than that is that those people who seek happiness in being, our self-existence, how we being, so satisfied with the good qualities. That is a state of being. That is a state of being. Here, Maitreya was not busy because he doesn't want anything. Neither he has to do anything to feel the sense of satisfaction. He was happy with just being a humble, just being a compassionate, just being charitable, just being a kind. So therefore he was anxiety free and sitting there, waiting for the right candidate to arrive. Just because he was sitting idle doesn't mean he was an ordinary person. He was agada bodham. His knowledge was unlimited. Nobody could fathom how much knowledge he had. Vidura approached there, but Vidura could understand. His knowledge is unlimited. And my understanding, my knowledge, a puddle of knowledge will get drowned in his oceanic knowledge. Agada Bodham. So Vidura approached. When Shukadeva Goswami describes the Vidura, he says him Kshatta. Kshatta means one who has subdued enemies, a warrior. So who are the enemies that Vidura has subdued? Vidura has subdued the senses. Therefore he is called as Kshatta. And because he has subdued his enemies of senses, therefore Rishabha, he is the greatest or Shrestha among the Kuru dynasties. And also he called him as a Guru dynasties. The Rishabha Kurunam. So this Vidura, while describing, he said, Achyuta Bhava Siddha, he was perfected. Because he had attained the perfection of liberation. He is actually liberated soul because he was completely absorbed in Achyuta Bhava. Achyuta means he is infallible. So therefore, even Vidura is also infallible. His perfection, his liberation is permanent. So, and he was seeking to hear from Maitreya. So this proves that even liberated souls actually take pleasure in the hearing Harikatha. Some writing says, Achyut Bhava Shuddha, that Vidura was purified because of his absorption in Krishna. Because of his absorption in Krishna. So what was these impurities then? One was that he was the Yamaraj in previous life, and there was one sage, Mandavya Rishi. So this Mandavya Rishi was performing his austerities in his ashram. So some thieves came. They had stolen a lot of property and jewels. They stole and hid in his ashram. The king's men were following them. And they caught him inside the ashram of Mandavya Rishi. And the king's men thought that Mandavya Rishi is also the part of the crime. And they also captured Mandavya Rishi. And the king gave punishment common to all, that they should all be hanged. Or previously their punishment is to given by throwing them on the shul. So it is like a pointed spear which passes through the entire body. So when all the thieves were put on the shul, they died. But the Mandavya Rishi, on the tip of that shul, he sat in Padmasana and was completely staying there. Nothing happened to him. And this went for 2-3 days. Then these executors reported the king that the Rishi is there, but nothing happened to him. So then they decided to relieve him and remove. So then, but they could not be removed from that shul. So that shul has to be cut, and that some portion remained within his body. So therefore, he is called as Animandavya, because of that shul portion remained with him. But because of this torture and this suffering he had to go through, he had a question to ask to Yamaraj. And when he went to the place of Yamaraj, he asked, why I am suffering? Why you gave me this punishment? I have done nothing. So the Yamaraj said, when you were a child, so that time you pierced one of the insect. He became angry. He said, you are foolish. As a child, nobody understands what is right, what is wrong, and for that you are giving me this punishment. So you are not befit to be a judge. So he cursed him that you become you take birth here on the earth as a lowborn. So by that birth, he appeared as a Vidura. So that curse effect was overthrown by the absorption in Krishna. And he is born as a Shudra. So by birth he is a Shudra, so he should have a characteristic of Shudra. But he doesn't have a characteristic of Shudra. Because of his absorption in Krishna, actually Shukadeva Goswami is addressing him as the best of the Kurus. So he was purified by his birth. As Rup Goswami says, the bhakti can purify even the prarabdha karmas. Right? anyone who chants the holy name, anyone chants the holy name, he is a Shudra or Shropacha, anyone, that fault of his low birth is also vanquished. Here is the example of Vidura. So, Upasritya, then Vidura approached Maitreya. He was with complete humility and submission. And he was not confident. He felt himself completely unqualified because previously, when he was in Vrindavan, he asked Uddhava, please instruct me. So Uddhava rejected. Uddhava said no. So therefore, Vidura felt he himself is unqualified for the knowledge which Krishna has given to Uddhava. That confidential knowledge was given by Krishna to Uddhava. He felt, I think I am unqualified, therefore Uddhava is not telling me. So when he approached Maitreya, that time also he was little apprehensive. But when he saw that the Maitreya was more inclined to speak, and his quality of gentleness, and he was ready to share, so he got confidence. Upasritya. So here the qualifications of a speaker and a hearer are very nicely described. So the speaker has to be qualified that he should have knowledge, agada bodham, and just not knowledge, but also there should be qualities like compassion and sense control. The sense control, compassion, accompanied by the knowledge received from Guru Parampara. And disciple has to have this quality of inquisitiveness, willingness to serve, and humility. So these are the when such perfect disciple and perfect guru is there, then there is a transformation. Actually, but it's not just by the intellect that we get realizations. It's by the mercy of spiritual master that we get realizations. Mahabharata gives one nice story of sage Dhaumya, who has 3 disciples, Aruni, Veda, and Upamanyu. He has given different services to these 3 disciples. He has given service of Aruni, taking care of the farm. He has given a service of household duties to the Veda, and the Goshala to the Upamanyu. So once there was heavy rains and there was chance that the land will be flooded, so then he had sent Aruni to check the dam so that it doesn't damage the crops. Aruni went there and saw that whatever the small dams made, it is getting destroyed. So himself lied down there to protect the land from getting flooded. So Dhaumya was wondering why he has not come. Eventually he took his disciples and went there and saw that he himself has lied down there to take care of his land. So he was so much happy and blessed Aruni. Ved also served very nicely at the home. He did all kinds of hard work, laborious tasks. So he was also blessed by the Dhaumya. But Upamanyu was little fat, stout, and he was adamant. So this Upamanyu, what he used to do, he used to collect the bhiksha and eat himself and doesn't give it to the spiritual master. One day his spiritual master observed that all the disciples are working so hard and he is very, very fat. Kuch to problem hai. So he asked. So then he realized he is taking all the bhiksha himself, not giving here. He said whatever the collection done by the disciple belongs to the spiritual master. So you please submit. So then onwards he started giving all the bhiksha to the spiritual master. But still he was seen as before, fat, stout, and sturdy. So spiritual master asked, how you are maintaining now? I am taking all your bhiksha. So he said, I collect and I give to you, and then again go back and again collect one more time and take myself. So the spiritual master Dhaumya said, this is not the way. Actually, when you collect more, actually you are encroaching on the other's property, because it is meant for other disciples and all other people. So you should not do that. So then he stopped that. Then afterwards he again saw that this Upamanyu was still strong and stout. So then he asked, how you are maintaining yourself now? Because I am taking all the bhiksha. There is nothing I am offering to you. So he said, I am taking the milk of Goshala. I'm taking care of cows and the milk of Goshala. Dhaumya said that this milk belongs to the deities. It is meant for offering. So we should not usurp that. So that also stopped. So then this Upamanyu then afterwards started maintaining himself on the just foam coming from the cow's mouth while the calf's mouth while milking. So like that he was starving. One day he was starving and roaming around the jungles. He ate something, arka leaves, and he became blind and fell into in the well. So that day Dhaumya was waiting. He didn't come. So next day morning he went looking for his disciple, and he found him in the well, blind. So he said, please offer prayers to Ashwini Kumaras. Ashwini Kumaras appeared there by his prayers, and they said, please take this cake with the empowered by mantra, by this you will get the vision back. So this Upamanyu said that I can't take this. Unless I have permission of my spiritual master, I can't take this. Because spiritual master Dhaumya has told me that everything belongs to him. So this is Ashwini Kumara says, but once this happened with your spiritual master, we came, he prayed us, we came and we offered the cake to him. He directly accepted. He didn't go to his spiritual master and anything. So you can also do. So that was a test for the Upamanyu. But Upamanyu said, no, unless I have permission of the spiritual master Dhaumya, I will not do it. So then with the consent of Dhaumya, he accepted this. Dhaumya was very much pleased by his determination now. Now he was completely transformed, and he submitted to his spiritual master. By this he received the blessings of Dhaumya, and along with that the knowledge. That knowledge which we heard from spiritual master turns into realizations by serving and receiving the blessings of spiritual master. There was one more. There was another person who doesn't wanted to get knowledge from spiritual master. Bharadwaj, Rishi and Rebhya, these two were the friends. Bharadwaj had a son named Yavakrit, and the Rebbe had two sons. So this Rebbe was very knowledgeable in Vedas and all the scriptures. But the Bharadwaj was engaged in austerities. So he didn't have that much time to study, and also therefore he was not that knowledgeable as the Rebbe. Because of his knowledge of Rebbe, he was very well known and famous among the community. So this Yavakrit, he became little disturbed. He said, why the Rebbe and his sons are being respected more? Because they have knowledge. And here we are engaged in austerities, we don't get time, so we are not respected much. So he decided to do austerities. He went to the Indra, performed austerities, and he wanted a benediction that no Brahmana has to study under spiritual master, no Gurukul, nothing. By birth only everyone should get all the Vedic knowledge, for everyone. So then he went there and performing austerities. Indra came, Baba, this is not the right method. If anyone has to have knowledge, he has to go to the spiritual master, serve him menially, hear from him, then only you get the knowledge. This is the Vedic method. So he didn't hear, he continued his austerities. Then again Indra came, and Indra said, okay, I gave you a benediction that you and your father, both of you will get this knowledge, but not everyone. He was not satisfied with that also. He said, every Brahmana should get their knowledge. No need of this going to the spiritual master and studying under them. He started again continuing his austerities. So then Indra took a form of one tapasvi and sat near the Ganges, Ganga, and the place where this Yavakrit used to come for taking bath and ablutions. So this, when Yavakrit came there, so this tapasvi, that is Indra in the form of tapasvi, used to take the handful of sand and throw in the Ganga. Like that he was continually doing. This went on for a few days. Yavakrit was astonished what this fellow is doing. He went to this tapasvi and asked, what are you doing? He said, I want to cross this Ganga, I'm putting this sand to build a bridge. Yavakrit said, are you foolish? This is a waste of time. Nothing will happen by that. So this tapasvi said, yes, if your austerities are going to get fulfilled, my bridge also will become complete. Because you are also endeavoring for something which is waste of time. Nobody can understand the knowledge without going to spiritual master and serving them. So that lit some light in his mind. He stopped from there, continuing his austerities, but he got the benediction that he and his father will get the knowledge without going to spiritual master. So they got the knowledge of all the Vedic literatures. So he came back and he met Bharadwaj. Bharadwaj Muni said, this is not right. Now this knowledge will make you proud. And this pride will be the cause of your destruction. And you are already enemies of this Rebbe Rishi. So the Rebbe is powerful and also angry. So better not to mix with him or no go around with him. As this Yavakrit became proud because of this knowledge which he has got without going to the spiritual master, serving under him. So he started harassing all the friends and all the other community people, all the intelligent people, whoever he thinks. Right? And one day he landed in a Rebbe Rishi's ashram. He didn't have any control over his senses. Right? So his daughter-in-law was there. He molested her. And as a result, Rebbe became angry and he created one, just from his jatas, he created one demon and that he was killed. Yavakrit was killed. He was got destroyed. But the Vedic knowledge he got without blessings of spiritual master. So therefore, serving under the Guru and hearing from him is very, very important. Here, therefore, he approached Maitreya Rishi for this knowledge. Papracha. He went there. He was very humble, Vidura. And Vidura asked, my dear Maitreya, please tell me, please tell me, in this world, the people are working so hard for the happiness, but it seems that they don't get any happiness. People run away from the miseries, but for that also they work hard, but the miseries also do not stop. On the contrary, it seems that they are working hard, but their misery increases. In spite of suffering again and again and again, they don't develop detachment. They don't stop their activities. So is there any way out? So Vidura asked these questions. Actually, this question was very common. Vidura had gone there on the behest of Uddhava to ask the confidential secrets which are revealed by Krishna to Uddhava. And that time Maitreya was there. So ask those things, Vidura had gone. When Vidura was feeling himself unqualified, out of his humility, he decided to ask something which was common. Some common questions he decided to ask. So that time, another reason is that he was also worried. Because when Uddhava told Vidura that when Krishna was speaking to me, Tasyanu raktasya muner mukunda pramoda bhava anatakandarasya ashunvato mam anuraga hasa samikshaya vishraya anvacha. When Krishna was instructing Uddhava, that time this Maitreya happened to be there. Actually, Krishna was constantly looking and giving his smile and glances to Uddhava. Actually, he wanted to speak to Uddhava because he felt Uddhava is the most qualified person to receive this most confidential knowledge which I am going to give him. So, but Maitreya happened to be there. So therefore, Vidura was not sure whether the Maitreya received these confidential secrets. And if I start asking, Vidura was thinking, if I start asking, tell me what Krishna told about this, the most confidential secrets we wanted to give you, and if that was not the case, it will be embarrassing situations. Therefore, he asked some common questions, and then he felt that if Maitreya wanted to share something, he will naturally share. Oh, Krishna told this for you. Krishna has told this for you. So what was that confidential knowledge which Krishna has given? Puramaya proktam ajayayana padme nishannaya mamadi sarge jnanam param man maimana bhasham yat suryo bhagavatam vadanti. Krishna says, I have given this. Here Krishna and Uddhava also. Actually, Krishna didn't start speaking directly to Uddhava. Krishna just told him that during the creation, I have given this knowledge, most secret knowledge to the Brahmaji. All the sages call him that is Bhagavatam. That was the hint was given, so that Uddhava should ask, because the rule is that unless asked, one should not tell. So Krishna wanted to give the knowledge, but he gave a hint for Uddhava to ask. And when Uddhava inquired, then the Krishna started giving the most confidential knowledge. Jnanam parama guhyam me. What was that confidential knowledge? The knowledge any spiritual knowledge is already a confidential. Among that, the Brahman knowledge, and more than that is the Paramatma, understanding of Paramatma, and the most confidential knowledge is the understanding the personality of Godhead. That is the Paramaguhya Jnana. Then he gave the Vidyan Samanvitam. Along with that, the realization of that knowledge, how different forms of the Lord, right? Ram, Krishna, Narasimha, Varaha. So all the forms of the Lord, experience and anubhav of that Lord. Along with that, Sarahasyam. Here also word used is the secret. The secret. What is that secret? Secret was that ki Stadangam. Secret was the prema bhakti. Unless one develops this, comes to the state of prema, one cannot have the realization of the forms and pastimes and activities of the Lord. Dadangam jo. But that begins with the chanting of the holy name, bhakti, a sadhana bhakti. So Krishna gave this grahana gaditam maya. So by this, what will you come to know? Yavan aham yatabhavo yad rupa gunakarmaka tatheva tattva vijnanam astu te madanugrahat. Krishna told, by this you will understand Yavan aham, all my different forms, yad rupam, 4 hands, all the beautiful features in details. With the beauty of Lord, in details you will understand. So, gunakarmaka, which is the Lord's form is confidential, his qualities are more confidential. And the more than that is his krida, his lila. Leelas are even more confidential. Leelas are more confidential. And all these things are revealed by the prema. Therefore, the most confidential part is the science of prema. By that only one understands the Lord's roop, gun, karma and leela. So the leela, Lord's leelas and the yad bhava. Bhava means the intentions behind the leelas, because the leelas of the devotees, many people understand the leelas, what Krishna has done. Right? Yasyanubhavam Bhagwan Veda Guyyatamam Shiva Devarshi Narada Sakshat Bhagwan Kapilo Nripa. So different leelas of the Lord is confidential from the other normal people, but there are great souls like Devarshi, Shivji, Kapila Muni. They understand the leelas of the Lord, how Lord is performing his activities. Just like Krishna ate the mud, dirt. Right? So devotees know that Krishna ate the dirt. But why he ate the dirt, that nobody knows. Some Acharya says that a few days back, Shivaram Prabhu was telling that the Prithvi Devi appeared and she requested that I want to offer something to you. I have this earth only, so I am offering my earth to you. And then the Krishna accepted. So like that, different Acharyas gives different understanding. But the real intention behind the pastime, only Krishna knows. When the Jarasandha attacked, so Krishna ran away. When he fought 17 times, why he last time ran, nobody knows. Acharya says that he ran away because he wanted to marry to Rukmini. Rukmini was sending letter and he wanted to receive that letter and take the Rukmini back. Right? So therefore, so why Krishna performs pastimes? What he performs, these great devotees know. But why he performs, nobody knows. His intentions are most confidential and secrets behind the pastimes. So therefore, when the Krishna says, I am going to give you Jnanam Param Man Mahima Vabhasam, I am going to give you the most Jnanam Param Man Mahima. This Mahima means generally glories, but here they talked about the Leelas. He is going to give the knowledge of the Leelas, the reason behind and intention behind those Leelas to Uddhava. So Krishna, what was the need for giving this knowledge to Uddhava? Because Krishna was thinking that I am going now, I am leaving this planet, and nobody has understanding of my Leelas, why I did, what is the intention behind those Leelas, nobody has understanding. Nobody has understanding of my associates. But you have already given the scriptures. He wanted this knowledge to be given by Uddhava to sages of to Badrikashram. But he has already given the scriptures. Everything is there in the scriptures. Yeah, but when you read the scriptures and the past times, the doubt arises. And the doubts cannot be cleared by the scriptures. So there has to be a person who knows the intention and imports of the scriptures, those words, he can clear the doubts. And the imports of the, because Vedas are apaurushaya, they are beyond the sensual knowledge, adokshaja. So therefore, we can have the access to the words, but the intention and purports behind those words is not accessible. That only knows to Krishna. Krishna is saying that I only knows the meaning behind this and purpose of this leelas and also the words in the scriptures. So if I go, then they will not have this access. So his shortcut, Uddhava is the perfect person. Because Uddhava is not less than me, even by atom. He is the perfect person for this. He is completely absorbed with me. He is just like me only. So therefore he gives this knowledge of most secret knowledge of the leelas of the Lord and why he has performed those leelas, intentions behind those leelas, which actually solves all the contradictions that was given to Uddhava. And Uddhava, after hearing this knowledge, actually his confusion, what he had gone through when he went to Vrindavan, because Krishna has sent him, considering him to the perfect person. He is the mantri, he knows how to counsel. He is my friend, he is very affectionate to me, so he can understand the conjugal affairs, so the better way. So he was sent by Krishna as a messenger to Vrindavan to tell to the gopis. He went there, and when he saw the loving affection of the devotees of Vrindavan, he was completely mesmerized, and he understood they are the best of the devotees. They are the best of devotees, but their affection and their activities he couldn't understand. He could not fathom their depth of love. And he was also not able to understand because he tried to console them. He tried to repeat the message given by the Krishna, which was apparently was a knowledge, just like this Chatushloki, similar verses are there. So Krishna was telling that I am everywhere, I am as a Paramatma. And Uddhava was also telling he is Paramatma, he is everywhere, so he is not separated from you. And the gopis were not convinced. Gopis were waiting, and afterwards they feel happy because they are getting deeper meanings of those same statements, and they say yes. So like that, the same statements of the given by the Krishna, Uddhava understood something, gopis understood something, and the Uddhava never understood what is happening there. So this query, this inquisitiveness which was there in Uddhava's mind was cleared after hearing from Krishna about his intentions behind the pastimes, including his activities in Vrindavan. So Krishna has communicated here that actually what gopis are experiencing in my separation is the topmost gift which I can give to them. Because the absorption in me, in the sense of separation, is the topmost. And that is what I am offering to the gopis. So this science of prema, which was not even accessible to Brahaspati. So what to speak of the disciple of Brahaspati, Uddhava. So that knowledge was given by Krishna to Uddhava at that last, just before departing back to his own abode. So, and that knowledge, one actually can understand the activities and contradictions of Krishna and his Vrindavan pastimes. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. If any question is there, one we can take. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.